This is going to be on section 3.3, where we continue talking about graphing. Intercepts are where our graph or our line at this point cross the axis. So if you remember coordinate grid, we have the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis, which means y equals 0 at that point. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, which means x equals 0 at that point. One way to find these intercepts is to do what we just did in 3.2 and plug numbers in and solve until we find the zeros. So if I plugged in -2, I would do -2 minus y equals -1. Add 2 to both sides. -y equals 1. Get rid of the negative by dividing. Y equals -1. So I can put that in there. Not an intercept because neither of them are 0. Let's do it again with -1. -1 minus y equals -1. Add 1 to both sides. -y equals 0. Divide by -1. Y equals 0. That is our x-intercept because the y is 0. Now, we know this one's going to find us the y-intercept because we're putting 0 in as x. 0 minus y equals -1. Y equals -1. Divide, and we get +1. So divide by -1, y equals 1. Those are our x and y intercepts. One way is to use a table. Another option is to just plug in that 0. You know it's a 0, so plug it in. 3 times 0 plus 2y equals 6. 3 times 0 is 0. So 2y equals 6. Divide by 2. Y equals 3. There's our y-intercept. Do the same thing for the y. 3x plus 2 times 0 equals 6. So 3x equals 6. Divide by 3. X equals 2. There is our x-intercept. Once you have those intercepts, you can graph. So you try finding the intercepts on this one. Pause the video, go ahead and try it, and then just plot them on the coordinate grid. 2 times 0 minus 6y equals 12. -6y equals 12. Divide both sides by -6. Y equals -2. So over here on the y-axis, I'm going to go down to -2 and put it up. Now let's do the x. So 2x minus 6 times 0 equals 12, which means 2x equals 12. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 6. So I'm going to go on the x-axis and put a dot at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And now I just connect those. And there's my line. That's all you have to do. Plot the 2, connect the line. Horizontal lines are special. So horizontal goes across like a horizon. All y values are the same. They never change. So for that, y equals a number. That means it's horizontal. Y equals 5, y equals 2, y equals 8. All horizontal lines. Here, we have y equals 2. To graph that, we go to the 2 on the y, and we know it always equals 2. So in every direction, it's every 2. So we can just draw a line right there. There's our horizontal. Vertical works the same way. We're just going up and down. All of the x values are the same. So those equations are x equals a number. To graph that, we go to -2 on the x, which is here. And then we're just going to draw a line that goes up and down. So vertical, up and down, horizontal across. We just go in reverse for writing the equation. This line is horizontal, so we know it's y equals. It goes through y equals 2, so that's the equation, y equals 2. This next one, it goes up and down. We know it's x equals -1, -2. Goes through -2, so the equation's x equals -2. Pretty straightforward. Find the equation that satisfies this. So a vertical line we know is x equals. Passes through the point 2, -3. Well, if it's x equals, the only coordinate we care about is the 2. X equals 2. So for horizontal, it's y equals. The only coordinate we care about is the y, so y equals 1. Perpendicular. Perpendicular means the lines cross at 90 degrees. So horizontal and vertical are perpendicular. So if we're saying we're perpendicular to x equals 3, it would have to be y. To be perpendicular, it has to be horizontal. Passes through that point where we only care about the y coordinate, so y equals 2. That is 3, 3. Let me know if you have any questions.